Though the mole have no love for war, we love our home fiercely. Should the steppe be threatened, we will rise up to protect it, as will full many other tribes, I believe. And so our alliance begins to take shape. Now, if we can just get that aether flowing again, it will have been a successful trip. Okay. The call. Y'shtola would see the aether flow once more. We have the requisite consent. 'Tis time to put Nama's power to use. If the aether flows as planned, all that remains is to have the ironworks engineers do their work at the ruins. Come, let us return to the House of the Crooked Coin. Yeah, that was just, I don't know, just amazing writing. Just everything about that last quest was just so good. It was a fun battle encounter. I really like that they've added those fights where you actually play as another character. And then, yeah, just the dialogue. Like I've said, the characters here in the steppe are certainly some of my favorites. Yeah, just still thinking about it. It's so good. I would not have the first idea how to awaken such a contraption, let alone control it. But then I'm not an Archon of Sharlayan. I shall begin at once. You may wish to step back.
Did it work?
It did. Ether may flow freely to the burn once more.
One thing I always find fascinating, obviously it just happens in fiction, but it happens a lot in fiction, is where a sufficiently advanced but ancient technology becomes a religious relic for, a civilization later down the line or whatever. I always find that plot point or story point or whatever piece of lore interesting, kind of cool. To manipulate aether in such vast quantities is draining, to say the least. I shall take it slowly for a while. I do not pretend to understand what you did, Ystrola, but you did it. Thanks to you and Lavenza, of course, we have taken a momentous step towards securing our defenses. Now, as much as I believe a rest is in order, we should probably make haste back to the Enclave. Agreed. The others may already have returned from their missions, and I would know how things stand. As would I. Without further ado, then. I think this may also be our last time that the MSQ takes us to the Azim Steppe, which is kind of sad. It's funny thinking, too, I think it's the warrior job quest that takes you back out there, and that's another great quest. Just anything having to do with the Azim Steppe is great. My lord informs me you are instrumental to the success of his mission to the Azim Steppe. Though we hope to make many more allies, we could wish for no better than you and your fellow scions. Each of the factions lent an ear to our petition. As anticipated, however, many were unwilling to do any more than that. Everyone has returned. Excellent. Time to take stock. It would seem we are the last to arrive. Well, yeah, how many others had to do battle? Judging by your triumphant expressions, I take it all went well in the Azim Steppe? Indeed, we have secured a suitable source of energy for the barrier. Good. Tataru and I have commissioned Garland Ironworks to ensure that the field generators function as they should. A team of engineers stand ready to set out for the burn at a moment's notice. You need only say the word. I thank you for engaging their services on our behalf. The minutiae of the arrangement you may leave to me. Which just leaves the small matter of our alliance. So, Yugiri, Hakuro, how fared you with our neighbors? My lord, all the factions we approached are in agreement that the Empire poses a threat, and many responded positively to talk of an alliance. From Hingashi and Suinosato, however, we received outright rejections. The former will not break its treaty with the Empire, and the latter will not involve itself in conflict. Just as we expected, then. Well, there is not to be done about it. We must focus on the rest. To each of the nations that were amenable to an alliance, I will personally send a missive. And once I have attended to that, I believe we will have done everything we can to fortify Doma's defenses, for the time being at least. All of which means I may leave for the meeting in Alamigo with a lighter heart. Yugiri, Hakuro, if you would be so kind as to hold the fort in my absence. My friends, we could not have achieved so much in so little time without your help. For that I give you my heartfelt thanks. Till the meeting, then. I took the liberty of asking Thancred to attend as well. He should have arrived in the Alamigan quarter by now. Then let us not keep him waiting, shall we? I'm remembering now when we actually fire up the shield. And I wonder when that happens. Because I want to say that's also when we get Alfie back and the reveal of Gaius, I think. Are you perchance familiar with Nangxia? It is the region to the south and west of Yangsha, and home to several small nations. Such peoples well understand the value of an alliance, and thus did many of them receive our proposal most favorably. I knew full well how Hingashi and Suinosada would respond, yet it did not to lessen the disappointment when they finally stopped equivocating. As I mentioned, I have missives to write and some few other matters to attend to ere I depart. See you anon, my friend. And again, I remember there being I'll call it a calling to the first at a meeting in Alamigo, but I don't know if this is it. It occurs to me this will be the first time I meet the leaders of the Alliance in an official capacity. More stiff greetings, pleasantries, formalities. Does that sound about right? It's not really all that stiff. I think most of us have come to know each other well enough that things are pretty casual by and large. Let us hope that the coming meeting passes more peaceably than the last such gathering in Alamigo. Oh yeah. True enough. I was thinking she was talking about the step, but no, yeah. Y'shtola has told me all, and I duly told Urianger and Kral. Kral in particular was concerned about Alphino, but I assured her that everything that can be done is being done. She agreed to continue with her own tasks for the time being on the condition that I contact her the moment there is any development. So, that leaves 4 of us to attend the council. Ehrenwald is here to assist with security, incidentally, though the poor lad seems altogether too distracted for the task. Another one missing Alphino, I expect. But it's almost time. As soon as you are ready, present yourself to the guardsmen at the palace entrance. I shan't be far behind. If you can spare a moment after the proceedings, consider seeking out Ehrenwald. A word from you would do wonders for the lad, I'm sure. Okay, yeah. Ah, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Welcome to Alamigo. The Alliance leaders have already arrived. May I show you to the meeting chamber? Indeed you shall, my good man. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Upon proceeding to the royal palace, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. All right, break out the popcorn.
Mistress Lys, Commander Aldin, it gives me great pleasure to formally welcome the city-state of Alamigo to the Eorzean Alliance.
The pleasure is ours, Your Grace. I know I speak for all Alamegans when I say that we are glad of this chance to stand with our comrades of the Alliance.
And we, for our part, are glad indeed to be able to welcome friends both old and new.
Lord Hien of Doma, at your service. Pray, accept my heartfelt thanks for your generous invitation.
Nay, 'tis we who must thank you for journeying so far. And 'twould be remiss of me not to acknowledge the part the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have played in bringing all of us together. In times of great unrest, you and yours have been our constant companions, without whom we would not be here.
With apologies to Lord Hien and Mistress Alize, it occurs to me that we have not gathered in this way since that fateful day in Uldar.
Ah.
The day I lost my arm and my freedom. As I lay in my cell, never did I dream that I would one day be given the chance to represent my homeland at this council. I would not even be alive had you not plucked me from the jaws of death. You, Yugiri, and Alphino. Would that the lad could be with us.
So much has happened. It's a great story.
I too owe my presence here to Alphino, in so many ways. Until such time as he returns, I mean to carry on his good work as best I can.
Come, friends. Let us leave the past in the past and turn our eyes to the future. My Lord Hien, pray, tell us how things stand in the East.
We didn't even get anything from Merlvib. That's kind of disappointing.
Having heard the rumors of dissent in Garlemald, I dared to dream of a peaceable solution.
The Empire will not so easily change its ways. If the Garleans have a mind to take back Doma and Alamigo, we'll be hard-pressed to stop them, even with the might of 6 nations. But while we lack the strength to fight the tide, a course may yet present itself, if we read the winds aright.
The winds suggest but one course to me. One which leads from the sea unto the river and thence to the source of all our woes.
The Ascians.
Indeed. All here have felt their blighted touch. It was the bringers of chaos who nurtured the Archbishop's tyrannical ambitions. They who bestowed upon him the secrets of summoning, as they have so many others before and since. And while they remain, we shall know no peace.
Our objective is clear. The question is how to achieve it. That our enemy parades about in Xenos' skin poses problems in itself, but ere we get to them, how are we to infiltrate the Empire and get close enough to strike?
While I see the wisdom in targeting the Ascians, an assassination attempt on Garlean soil would do little to aid our cause, even were it to succeed. It's time we used our enemy's preferred tactic: subterfuge.
You have an idea?
Speak your mind, Master Thancred. None here know the enemy better than the Scions, and you mayhap best of all. Whatever it is you propose, we will give it fair hearing. On that you have my word.
Very well, Admiral. My proposal is thus. We dispatch the shinobi to Imperial territory. There, they sow the rumor that the Crown Prince perished in the battle for Alamigo, and that the man parading around is in fact a corpse inhabited by a servant of darkness.
Well, it does have the ring of truth about it. And were the Garleans to learn that their future ruler is a puppet, the Empire would be shaken to the core.
But at the risk of sounding stupid, would they actually believe such an unlikely story? I didn't.
Ordinarily not. But prior to his miraculous recovery, rumors of Xenos' death had already begun to circulate around the Empire. Ultimately, however, what the masses believe is not our chief concern. Our true objective is to create an opening for rival factions within Garlemald to exploit.
Just as a war of succession erupted in the wake of Emperor Solus's death.
A war which raged until but recently, plunging the Imperial House into disarray as nephew and uncle grappled for the throne. It is no coincidence that one of Varus's first acts as Emperor was to name Xenos heir apparent, family feuds being so tiresome when armies are involved. Not all welcomed his choice of successor, however. There is no shortage of individuals who aspire to the throne, who would jump at any chance to seize power. The news that Xenos is not only dead, but a puppet to diabolical forces would be too enticing to ignore.
The Empire would not be quick to recover from a second war of succession.
I am no stranger to infiltrating Imperial territory. With a team of operatives gathered from among the Alliance's finest, the plan should have a reasonable chance of success.
Doma already has shinobi in place throughout the provinces. We stand ready to act, and act we must. What say you all?
I'm for Master Thancred's proposal. We shine a light upon the Ascian and test the Empire's unity. 'Twas his plot that scuttled Doma's negotiations, was it not? Why then, if we can eliminate him, there may yet be a chance for peace. Let us wage this war of subterfuge, that we may one day lay down our arms. Gods know we never will while the Ascians remain.
Oh, here it is.
That way. Sorrow. History must be changed.
Dude, I remember this being so confusing at the time. It's going to be so great now to, you know, to go through these, see these again with the context of Shadowbringers. Well, clearly I understand, so I'll just, for the sake of it, ask who this is.
Ahead looms a calamity. Ahead looms light, expunging all form and life. Twin dooms only you can forestall. Only you.
What's the matter?
Okay, here goes...
There's a voice!
Here goes Thancred.
Spies in our midst?
Nay, I sense no such presence.
Let expanse contract. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Is it over?
Master Thancred!
For Fend. Bear him to a private chamber. Have every healer make ready. Swiftly!
Master Thancred remains in slumber. Though his vital signs appear stable, he's unresponsive.
What could have done this? And why just him and not the others?
I'm afraid we could not identify the cause, my lady. Our examinations revealed no wounds, nor the presence of any poisonous substances.
Gods, that only makes it worse. You're to let us know the moment there's any change, all right?
Thank you for coming. Knowing Thancred, he would apologize for being otherwise engaged at so crucial a juncture.
In gifting us a course of action, Thancred sowed the seed of all that is to follow. We have but to nurture it as best we can. To him, I would say, rest easy, that he may wake to enjoy the fruits of our labors. Now, the matter of the mysterious voice must not be forgotten. Will you tell me exactly what happened?
Alize and I heard a voice in the moments before Thancred collapsed. It was accompanied by a severe headache, as if something were clutching at our minds. Did you experience the same thing?
So, in between the voice and the pain, you felt as if you were somewhere else entirely.
Your testimony confirms my suspicion. That which you experienced was, I believe, your soul being plucked from your flesh. Called.
Called?
So I actually named it right.
I myself examined Thancred. Reach out as I may, I could not sense in him the spark of life that is his soul. That Thancred alone was stricken so is likely due to his heightened sensitivity to the effects of ether, a consequence of his prior possession by the Ascian, the Hebrea. The owner of the voice, whoever it may be, reached out to you, called your souls, and in so doing, caused you and yours such pain.
But if that's true, where exactly are we being called to?
I know not. Yet one thing is plain. Whoever waits for you on the other side is possessed of a power unlike any I have ever known.
Forgive us, Lys, but may we leave Thancred in your care for a time?
As if you had to ask. I may not be a scion anymore, but I'm no less a friend. Don't worry. I'll see to it that Thancred's well looked after. Just focus on solving this mystery, all right?
Thank you, Lys. As the Elder Seedseer says, 'tis no ordinary individual we are dealing with. Nor can we discount the possibility of Ascian involvement.
Whoever or whatever is behind this, the sooner we find out, the better.
Okay, I got some stuff to say there. Again, it's cool getting context. Or watching this again with context. And with having played through everything before this so recently, I know I'm picking up on things that I was not picking up on before. Because obviously Graha talking to us, calling us, and him mentioning, I don't think he says a flood of light, but he says like consumed by the light or whatever. Obviously that's, you know, like if you still remember everything with the Warriors of Darkness and in the first being consumed by light, you can make that assumption about going to the first. I don't recall when the fan fest was that they announced Shadowbringers and what its relation to with this. But I wonder what people were thinking at the time. Yeah, but anyway, it was cool. Like, to watch that scene and know what the hell is going on now. But the one thing I found interesting about, oh, thank you, it's 14 minutes late, but Uriah, for the follow. But yeah, one thing I don't know if you call it found interesting or just noted as I've been playing through this, is I was wondering how I would react to various things throughout it, like obviously Horshaphant and Ysael and, you know, whatever else, and even like Moonbrita. Like I was wondering how emotional I would get or whatever, and it was kind of like a, you know, this second time through, it's like, you know, a little bit of the waterworks starting, just a little bit, you know, a light misting, but, and I've had the feeling, I'm like, I know in Shadowbringers, like I'm gonna be a mess. I feel that, but it's like I also thought that I was going to feel a little bit more in some of the previous stuff the second time through. But as soon as he said, you know, let expanse contract or whatever, it was just like, I can't even hold it back. There's just something, Shadowbringers just gets me. Oh God. And I'm going to warn you now, like I am going to be a blubbering mess throughout Shadowbringers. Oh, God, it's such a good story. And all it took was that one line, and I was just like, oh my God. Anyway, let us continue. Never have I encountered such a phenomenon. If this is magic, it is beyond my ken. Don't worry about Thancred. I'll send word as soon as there's any change. If the Ascians are indeed responsible, we must take steps to protect ourselves, though I know not how. And it's so funny thinking about it, you know, from the perspective of Shadowbringers and just knowing that, like, this terrible thing that's going on, we're losing our friends, their souls are being sucked out of their bodies, and in actuality, it's just Grawha's, like, trial and error, just messing it up. He keeps aiming for us, and he keeps missing. Ugh. I can't wait. Dude, Shadowbringers is just so good. I just tried to call Urianger on his link pearl. He didn't respond, but I dare not to hope that he possesses some knowledge we do not. Was he hit too this or no? He's hit later, I think. Or called later. He possesses some knowledge we do not. Yeah. Ah, Urianger. Something happened during the meeting. Thancred's collapsed. A disembodied voice suddenly started... What? But that's... We should talk about this in person. All right, we'll meet you there. That was Urianger. He heard the voice too. In Thanalin? As we alone were afflicted at the meeting, I had my suspicions. But if the voice also spoke to Urianger, there can be little doubt the Scions were targeted specifically. By whom and to what end is the question? One to which we must find an answer with all possible haste. The call. I had to have read that name when I picked up the quest, and it didn't even strike me at the time. But now it's like, yeah, of course. thank you for watching this video. Tonight's stream was amazing. So part of it just has to do with, okay, so we did 4.4 is basically everything that happened in this stream. And the fact that it's what really starts the ball rolling toward Shadowbringers is what hits. I mean, so much so, this was the first night that I think I really had like a fit of emotion because Shadowbringer stuff. It just, I can't wait. I can't wait for Shadowbringers. It's coming up. It's coming up. So yeah, I doubt you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoy doing this stuff, but maybe. And if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join me live, again, Shadowbringers, then the link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Thank you again for watching, and have a good one.